Hello, welcome back to Chibi-Robo. Last time, we got a toy receipt. This time, we're still not going to give it to Mrs. Sanderson, because it's not nighttime yet, and we can only give it to her at night.
Alright, so I guess Chibi-Robo's new nickname is Narc at Night then.
That does mean today we're going to do a lot of side questing stuff, including starting this side quest.
Oh yeah, Giga-Robo's fucking dead. Let's help that. Let's help undo that.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting about this side quest. It's just a money sink. And there are still things we have to spend money on afterwards. It's just going to be long enough till we see them, but I thought now would be a good time to show this off. You can only pay in increments of 1,000 kilowatts, which means you can only pay 1,000 moolah at a time. Or increments of 1,000, I should say. You can pay 2,000 or 3,000 moolah, obviously.
Ooh, boy.
Also, electricity is liquid in this universe.
Alright.
Like, canonically. Like, that was really clearly a drop of liquid.
I guess, battery acid and electricity are just the same thing now. We made the dangerous part of a battery also the shocky part of a battery.
Wait, does that mean that, like, liquid is traveling through all the electrical wires in this universe?
Oh wow, that's gonna make one hell of a mess if a wire ever gets cut. What speed is this liquid moving at?
I don't know why I accept the, like, the green lights traveling up the cord is like, oh, well, that's just the video game representing electricity in a weird way. But I see liquid electricity and I'm like, well, that has to be, you know, what's actually happening. That can't be a metaphor or a symbol or anything.
That's just power juice. You're showing me power juice. Delicious power juice that I will drink and then die from immediately.
They're coming to check on our flower. It's sprouted? I try to water it. This isn't really necessary. If showing off, like, if it was necessary, it probably wouldn't be this much of a pain in the ass to do.
Well, to be fair, its roots are a lot deeper than we can necessarily see, so all this water is probably fine. Unless we're overwatering, in which case you've doomed the bud.
You just go to pull that little bud out and, like, miles of roots come with it.
This little plant was actually just choking the other plants, and also not growing at all.
This is just some fucked up parasite plant.
The plant is whispering, "I'm a little birthday boy."
More spiders fighting. And it is way too easy to get the Spiders music to stop, because I've done it 2 Spiders fights in a row.
I mean, look, it takes a lot just to get weird, tiny robot spiders to invade someone's house, so you gotta expect some quirks, like a faulty radio system. We built little radios into this thing so they could play their own song, but look, when they teleport in, that puts a lot of strain on them. You cannot expect the speakers to work under this condition.
Anyways, now that the foyer is empty, we actually get a chance to do the Space Scrambler minigame. And I feel like this is the first time, both in this playthrough and just in my life, that I've used a ladder like this. Just getting it flush with the surface I'm trying to climb to.
Usually just overshoot then.
Anyways, the cars can run on their own. That was kind of weird, but kind of acceptable. These things can actually fly.
Well, I mean, I guess if toys are alive, then these things can also function.
Also, there are targets. Did we make these? Did these come with the toy? Hey, Telly, why are you in front? Are you going to be the one piloting? Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it. Telly's explaining this. This is basically an on-rail shooter, so Chibi is manning the weapons. Which, I don't know about in real life. In fiction, weapons are always in the backseat.
Chibi-Robo, I don't have my license!
Anyways, you don't have to aim, you just press A to shoot. Yellow targets take 1 shot, red targets take 3.
Alright.
Every time you shoot, you slow down.
Okay, so you don't
However,
shoot then.
yeah, you have to figure out the exact number of targets to shoot. And the thing is, the way you slow down, if you can shoot a bunch of targets in one go, basically, it's better off than shooting, speeding back up, and then shooting again.
Okay, so there's actually some pretty decent strategy to this then.
I would agree, but the margin for error is fucking minuscule. Like, this is a cool set piece. I like the Star Fox videos that keep showing up. This should be fun, but I've done it so many times that even just watching this back is making me mad.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Hey, by the way, look at that timer.
Inches 5.
And because it ran out before we entered the basement, we don't get any points.
Oh my god.
You saw that. We crossed the threshold as the timer reached 0. I think that should count.
Game does not agree.
So I didn't leave in all my takes, obviously, but I wanted to leave in enough takes that, like, the viewer got an idea of how much bullshit this is. And I didn't bring this up, but both this and the car minigame have limits. You can only do it 3 times each half day. So, yeah, they're both built around trial and error, and then they severely limit your ability to trial and error it.
Cool. I love only being able to learn things in increments for no particular reason.
Like, don't get me wrong, this game is built around doing things over the course of several days. I'd be okay with that in some cases, but with this it just feels frustrating.
I mean, in most other cases, if you need to do a thing on a different day, it's either because you hit a wall, or you just didn't figure out a puzzle in time, and like, you can then just, on subsequent, you know, either half day or half day after that, just say, alright, what did I do wrong, and then just correct it. You know, relatively easy, try to figure it out.
Yeah. With this, like, I guess the way to explain it is that even if I could just play through this as many times as I wanted to in one day, it wouldn't make it that much easier. I know this because I use save states, and I did play this several times in one day. Anyways, that was a goddamn C.
Jesus.
You get points for crossing the finish line early, but they're not worth it. You're more or less always better off trying to shoot and use up as much time as you possibly can. Anyways, this is our last attempt of the day, so obviously I'm gonna make it this time. But I would like for the viewers to just, you know, go through those 3 attempts and see how different you think they are. Because I don't think they're very different at all.
Yeah.
But the differences in score are going to be massive.
Yeah, so there is strategy, but much like the surfing minigame in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, pulling off a winning run is just not satisfying, and you're just like, okay, what was different about that? So anyway, I know the toys all have a pretty good grasp of the Sanderson schedules, but like, are we acknowledging that there are people in the outside world and neighbors? We have to take them into account. Is there just somebody in the neighbor's house just fucking watching 2 toy ships flying around? Just asking
do your neighbors
I thought the
stare into your house through your windows pretty often?
I mean, I hope not, but like, this kind of thing might catch your eye. Look, I don't peep, but also, I'm pretty sure just a toy ship emitting blue flame and a robot with an plug just hanging off of them is pretty attention-grabbing. Some guy walking his dog is just like, wait, just like RC? I thought the Sandersons were like really fucking poor.
Alright.
On account of the fact that the wife just steps out on the porch every once in a while and just shouts, "Oh God, we're so poor."
Just cries. So I want to point out, I got 1250 points. That is the minimum to get an S rank.
Oh jeez.
It took so many fucking tries. I had a YouTube video pulled up showing an S run rank, and I still think I got fewer points than that guy.
Jeez. Wow, that is brutal.
Like, this minigame should be fun, because you're flying around shooting stuff as Chibi-Robo, and the Space Scrambler doesn't have a gun. If you, like, listen, it's using the same sound effect as the Chibi Blaster. Chibi's just leaning outside of the spaceship and firing. But it's just too frustrating to be enjoyable in any meaningful way.
I'd much rather fling myself down the stairs. Race me, car man.
Anyways, we got that Drake Redcrest record. So, let's go hang out with Funky Phil. Also, you may have noticed another thing we're going to do in this room on that map. There was an egg.
Egg.
One of the escaped Free Rangers is hanging out in the highest level of his bedroom. We gotta get him. There he is.
That's the bitch.
I think you can see him on the map. Now that I think about it, that should be blocked. So, I don't know how much there is to say, but one thing we could talk about is that this aesthetic of, like, small character in a normal-sized house, but everything is, like, seems really big because you're small, is something that video games will use a lot for, like, one level or one world. But it's not very often you see a whole game built around it.
Yeah. Which, on one hand, is kind of weird. On the other hand, Chibi-Robo is a very particular game. And, like, the way you interact with Chibi-Robo is different than, say, like, the Mario games. Which, you know, has had a world where you are small in a big house, but, like, I feel they might think it's just kind of limited what kind of platforming you can do in that sort of environment, because there's a difference between making a thing look livable or lived in or whatever, and making it an enjoyable, like, platforming game or whatever.
Anyways, we're just fucking with Idaho right now. Talk to him while standing on his head. Also, he's gonna leave in a second.
Pathetic.
We just fell straight down. So I do wonder, like, if you can position yourself so that when he leaves, you just fall to the ground.
Now, would you die or would the cutscene protect you? I don't know.
I don't know either. But, yeah, Indie devs. There's been, I don't want to say like a 3D indie boom, but it's definitely more feasible now than it used to be. So like, if you want to make a Chibi-Robo successor, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, look, last time we saw Chibi-Robo, that was just like a more standard platformer. Just, yeah, Zipflash is what it is. It exists. You can say that about it.
It's fine. I get why a lot of people were super disappointed with it, but like, Chibi-Robo never sold well to begin with. It's kind of unfortunate. The first Chibi-Robo came out for the GameCube, like, towards the end of its lifespan. Park Patrol was made a Walmart exclusive at the last minute, which cut its sales down dramatically.
Oh my god.
Also, listen to this.
But it's a mystery. What does this justice mean? He hasn't got a clue. But to think they can disturb the peace, get a taste of his space fury, protector of the universe. That is his destiny. Go, Space Hunter, Drake Redcrest.
Disappointed there's no explosion. Hard cut to this shit. So like, yeah, like as I was saying, not only was this game's sales like kind of hamstringed by the GameCube dying shortly after it was released, this doesn't seem like it was a cheap game to localize.
Oh, probably not, no.
Just finding one guy who can kinda sing. No offense to the guy who provided vocals there. I think the issues sprang from the fact that he had to match the meter of a song that was not written in English.
Yeah. That is difficult.
Also, I wasn't paying too close attention to the rhyme scheme, but at least some of the lines rhymed, so that must have been very difficult. Anyways. Dino wants to do something nice for the kids. Jesus Christ. And Funky Phil is more accepting of the kids now that they dance together. That's nice.
Ah. Well, here's another child.
We need to stop making Funky Phil dance.
We also need to stop absorbing his sweat, which, you know, I would be more comfortable with personally.
Yeah, I know we talked about this the last time we focused on Funky Phil's side story, but like, what the hell is this toy?
I don't know, and I don't know if there is anybody who can comprehend it. It just appeared one day in this house.
Like Chibi-Robo is a marvel of engineering. But he's not a toy, he's a utility. He's a utility. An appliance. Like, I could understand why somebody would go through so much effort to make Chibi-Robo. Funky Phil is a solar-powered, like, bobblehead. Why the hell is he like this?
Why did you make a bobblehead that could reproduce? We don't need more of those. Nobody does. And yet you want more of them?
Why not just reproduce? Like, why did you sit down and decide I'm going to make the best solar-powered bobblehead that the world has ever seen? Who asked for that?
Also, it's not just reproduction and, like, creating an entirely new funky fill instantly. There is an adolescent stage to these guys.
Either that or, like, they're not going to grow at all, and they just permanently look like this. Anyways, Dinah wants to talk to us, and thankfully, we noticed a way to get to the loft while we were recruiting Idaho. I almost forgot his name. I do like the platforming, I guess you'd call it, in this game. But when you're doing a Let's Play of it, I can see it getting tedious, because we just did the same thing earlier in the episode.
Yeah, you just weren't being efficient. You should have recruited Idaho now instead of doing it initially.
I mean, the video fucking freezes at random points. If you were expecting professionalism, I don't know why. This is what happens when I record. Alright, Dinah, what is it?
See, you lost a block down there.
Yes, I noticed the block. You hit me with it.
Thankfully, that didn't cause any sort of brain damage, so I do remember it, yes.
Alright. If we find any blocks, we give them to Dinah. I don't think this counts, because you already had it and you threw it, but here it is.
Alright, have this one back.
Alright, well, I try to see if we can read the manual. I can't. Also, this is apparently a working TV, which is weird. Anyways, Sunshine Sticker.
Destroy. Look, Sunshine wouldn't hesitate with us.
I guess the void is just in their wall?
Alright, and now
And, like, no explanation for this.
Alright, time to go to the upside-down Sanderson house.
Yeah, this is just a shortcut to the loft. It's a lot easier than climbing up that nonsense. Unfortunately, we needed to be on top of the loft. Well, we didn't need to be, but it's easier to get to the ledge from there.
Easier to get anywhere else because, hey, we're at the top.
Just gotta float down. Also, I say that might not be up high enough. I'm working on my game plan here.
Alright, we gotta go even higher. Gotta miss on. Oh, standing on shirts. Well, I guess
Manage
that's
that. Don't panic, Chibi. Fear is the enemy. Fear is the mind killer. Alright, can't land on that cuckoo clock, but it's fine. We're going, we're good. We're still good. We still have probably enough airspace.
Sure. I'll believe you. Don't disappoint
Maybe
me. You better not disappoint
we
me.
can make this.
Better not be disappointed at
Taking
the
a
end
couple
of
of
this.
deep breaths. Fuck.
I'm so disappointed. Well, at least you can hover over the pillow. I guess that's something.
So yeah, I unlocked a shortcut that is kind of useless right now. We in fact still have to go climb back up the long way. So anyways, building a game around being a small thing in a normal-sized house is cool, but it can lead to really annoying situations like this. Where, like, of course, oh god. Of course you can't just climb up to any point from any other point in the room. From a gameplay perspective, it's just kind of annoying.
I think they should give Chibi-Robo the ability to parkour. Let Chibi-Robo run up walls.
Chibi-Robo, subtitle Mirror's Edge.
I mean, look, at this point they'll try anything with Chibi-Robo. Like every 10 years or so.
Yeah. I know I pulled the gun out.
Feel like you gotta shoot someone. Might be spiders right over there. You don't know where they're hiding. Hopefully they also obey toy law and don't leap out in front of the Sandersons. I mean, they're not toys themselves, they're just Chibi-Robo killers, but like... Nobody... Look, I'm just thinking, nobody's concerned about spiders, so I can only assume they have not been spotted by the Sandersons. Okay, but you must also have roots if that was effective.
Oh.
I'm the evil one!
So you may have noticed that sounded slightly different from the last little musical interlude the Billies provided.
Alright, apparently Freaky Phil, oh jeez.
So yeah, as if this sub-story wasn't already a problematic minefield, we've now added a neurodivergent coded character.
I'm sure that will be done very respectfully and not just used for many, many jokes.
I am not going to promise or warn about anything, because I've not recorded far enough ahead.
Alright, hey Phil, now, you know how you were initially kind of, against having kids, but now you're kind of warming up to them? Well, guess what just doubled? Your kids! I'm afraid I brought more. And this is entirely my fault. I didn't have to do anything about this. Nope, this is fine.
Also, I talked about Funky Phil being like a bobblehead. Look at him, he clearly has a speaker, so he's just like a way overproduced stereo toy. But like, I don't even know if you can add your own music or if he just has music built in.
It's just well, I mean, I guess to be fair, was he singing along the Drake Redcrest record, or was he just lip-syncing?
He was just dancing. You know, he wasn't even lip-syncing, I don't think.
Was he? I thought he was opening his mouth. Maybe he just does that because of the funk. Just feels the music in it.
Well, Telly fell behind the fucking shelf.
Telly fucking died.
Gotta figure out. There we go.
Chibi-Robo,
well, that was weird. That's the only time the camera has really been a problem in this game. Like, I sometimes forget which direction spins the camera the way I want it to, but that's a me problem.
Yeah. That was just a weird glitch. A funny glitch,
Anyways,
but weird nonetheless.
So far, we have found 3 pirate-free rangers. There are 4 of them. We have 5 minutes to get the last one.
Alright, see, Chibi-Robo, this is where parkour skills would really come in handy.
I'm looking for him in there. You can see him on top of the bookshelf, I guess? Or like a magazine rack is more closely what it looks like. Do you see it? I guess I wasn't sure how long it would take you to see it.
It's the southern end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw him. Yeah, there he
And then I
is.
just look up at him anyways. Also, I don't think we've talked to Drake Redcrest up here yet.
What are you looking at? Oh yeah, big castle.
Oh no.
She wants justice. Time to kill that bear.
He's my attention.
I mean, look, you look like you've got some pretty good limbs there, Drake. Just climb.
Anyways, he tells you that Mort will know how to get into the castle, so if you talk to Drake Redcrest and get him up here first, he'll tell you gotta talk to Mort. We've already talked to Mort.
Yep.
I just think it's important to establish that Drake Redcrest is here to cause a love triangle.
Or love square, to be fair. We've got the princess, we've got Mort, we've got Drake Redcrest, and we have justice.
And Sophie.
Drake Redcrest is like, oh.
Anyways, you might think you'd be able to get to the magazine rack from there, but you can't. You have to go taller. And I fuck up because I thought I could just walk, but no, you've got to also hover over here, and then hover down to the magazine rack, and oh god, look at that timer.
Ah, you got this, you're good. Alright,
Also, the magazine rack doesn't show up in the reflection, so he's just dancing in thin air.
Alright, so the magazine rack is a vampire, but you're not. I guess that's good. Blackbeard didn't really seem particularly... or like he'd particularly care about vampires one way or the other, so... don't think it's a huge deal.
Like, I guess at the angle... Nope, never mind.
Nope, that's
I
definitely
was gonna say, I guess
there.
at the angle, maybe you wouldn't be able to see it anyways, but then I swing it around and like, oh no, yeah.
That's what they were counting on. They were counting on you just being at one particular angle.
Yeah, because mirrors are just a fucking nightmare
Yep.
in video games, from what I understand.
Yeah, mirrors are like the most difficult thing. Like, there is probably some weird complex trick that they had to do just to get everything else, quote-unquote, reflected.
It's just one of those things that was like way easier to do when every game was 2D. Like beds. Like when games went 3D and every character started sleeping above their covers.
All video game characters just have the problem where it's like, it's just a little too warm for them to want to use those covers, but you know, then it's a little too cold without them. It's just a big thing. It's a huge pain to deal with.
Anyways, I don't have enough time to start another thing, so I'm just kind of wandering around.
I mean, yeah, if toys are real,
Okay,
just
then,
make a
Tony.
phone call.
That's actually a good point. What does the telephone do if the toys come to life?
We'll ponder that and get back to you next week.
Yes, tune in next week where we give the toy receipt to Mrs. Sanderson and destroy a marriage.